Josh Davis, who is with DC Metro for Assange, will now take the megaphone. Please give him a big round of applause. Thank you very much for putting this all together and assisting Josh. You rock. Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Alright guys, thank you for coming out today. It's an amazing turnout. The Shiftons were just here. I really can't thank them enough for making it out here. It's just important that everybody starts talking about this case, whether it's with the person who is completely on the other side of the aisle with you, or it's someone that you talk about politics with every day, or someone that you work with. Just get the word out. If you start talking about it with the people that you know, then the people that they know start to be aware of it too. So you have to affect your immediate circle before you can actually make a big change. So the only way that we can do this is together and just raising awareness. The point is about Julian Assange's case is they just want to make an example out of him. He's done nothing wrong. In 11 or 12 years that WikiLeaks has been open, there has not been a single retraction of their story. But they don't talk about that. They want to smear him and they want to discredit him every single way that they can. But it's very hard. And that's why there's so many people like us that are fighting back and becoming aware of our own voices and the threat to ourselves. Because don't get it wrong, when they prosecute Julian Assange, they prosecute us. So we have to stand up and we have to resist it. So, free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Alright, Morgan, your turn. Okay,
Frankie!
Kobi.
Okay, Kobi.
This is Kobi. How you guys doing today? Alrighty, so I'm going to tell the story from a little bit more of like a personal angle of self-censorship. So, in 2016, I used to share the WikiLeaks emails on a regular basis on social media. You know, I thought of myself what I would call a citizen journalist. So I wasn't at an outlet or anything. I did study journalism in school, but it was more of a just, you know, I'd go to events on my own, I'd videotape occasionally, I'd write some commentary about it. And so I remember when the DNC leaks came out in 2016, you know, I was really heavy on covering it. I would share all the emails every day about, you know, DNC corruption. And I thought it was really telling that instead of confronting the evidence that was in these emails, there's never been anything proven wrong in WikiLeaks emails, you know, they would respond with, anybody sharing this is just a, you know, unwitting agent of Russia, you know, don't read the emails, it's all Russian, don't read it. And that campaign lasted for like 4 or 5 years, you know what I mean? And at the time, I was 19, I didn't really know what I was doing. You know, I just kind of like shut up for a little bit. You know, after the election happened and mainstream media kind of shifted towards the Trump impeachment story and all that stuff, you know, I got scared, oh gosh, they're gonna call me a treasonous traitor and they're gonna like, you know, do the same thing they're doing to Julian to me. You know, and so 4 years later, finally, I think everybody's starting to get the Russiagate out of the way. They know that that was kind of a propaganda storyline that was out there to silence dissent, like it effectively did to me for 4 years. And I'm sure there are a lot of other people out there, and especially people who are in corporate media, who they have their bosses telling them not to cover these stories from certain angles. You know, they are still self-censoring to this day. And I think that if they successfully prosecute Julian Assange for releasing the classified information, for publishing it, you'll see journalists on a mass scale, even more than they already are self-censoring. It'll be even more fear of self-censorship. And so that's why I think, you know, not only should Julian Assange not be extradited to the US, but that judge in the UK should get rid of the precedent that you can have a journalist extradited internationally to the US. It can't just be a human rights case, although, you know, the US criminal justice system is terrible, you know, there are tons of human rights abuses. It has to go further. It has to not set that precedent against the international free press. Right. Thank you.
Thank you.